Okay guys, this is stage or part 2 of our little look at the finance sector here with Jacinta Walker from Walker Financials, here 80 Upton Street Bundle. Little plug, what's the telephone number?
0449 875 811.
Beautiful, and we'll tag that in there for you as well.
Thank you.
We're mainly going to be talking about first home buyers at the moment.
Great.
Okay, so what grants are available for the first home buyers at the moment?
So, if you buy brand new, never lived in, an apartment or house and land, and you purchase up to $750, you can get the $15,000 first homeowners grant.
Is it $750 here on the Gold Coast?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, Queensland. Yes. There's also another scheme called First Home Loan Deposit Scheme, where if you have 5% deposit, there are certain banks participating, including NAB and CBA, where the government will actually guarantor the LMI amount for you and waive it.
Sorry, the what amount?
The lender's mortgage insurance.
There we go, yes,
So
righto.
the clients don't pay it, the government guarantors it. There are caps on certain suburbs and conditions that apply.
When they first released that, they were only doing 10,000, weren't they, or something?
Correct.
And they all went extremely quickly.
Yes.
So they've now, is it now open slather for as many as they want, or they capped it again with a number?
They're still releasing them every 6 months, 10,000 amounts at a time, and they apply to either new properties or existing.
Okay.
Yes, so they've just released a whole lot at the start of July.
Existing properties as well.
Correct.
Okay, so 15,000 for new stuff, and
Oh, that's a different grant.
different grant, of course.
Yes.
So I've never seen
Yeah.
such a good environment for first homeowners. Obviously the prices hurt at the moment, but outside of that, there's a lot of incentives to help them. What about stamp duty?
Stamp duty is exempt up to 500,000 if you're a brand new buyer, and if you've never purchased before, so that can apply to either new or existing properties.
So once it gets to 501, does it trigger a pro rata rate, or does it go bang straight up to what it should have been at 501, or do they pay a percentage above that?
Yeah, so it is a percentage, but there's no other special discounts above the 500,000. So if they spend 505,000, for example, it might be 1,500, but then it gets more as they go up in increments.
Okay, but we can all look at all that. Okay.
Yeah.
So grants. Now we talked about the LMI, the loan members insurance.
Yes.
You can now pay that off. Is that correct or not correct?
Correct. So you can either come up with it at the front end as a lump sum from your savings, or you can tack it onto the loan and spread it out over the period of the loan up to 30 years.
Coming from where I'm sitting, I always think that's abroad. Why did they introduce that, and what's the purpose of it?
So the purpose, there's not a lot of benefit to the client other than they don't have to come up with as big a deposit, because most clients find it really difficult to find that 20%, especially if they're renting and trying to save at the same time.
So 20% is where you don't have to have
That's
LMI.
the cutoff. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then so basically it covers the bank in the event that clients default. So
But the bank already owns the loan
correct.
and already has the property, so they're covered automatically by that, aren't they?
Yes. So how they work out these policies is that they look at the back end of their books and they work out who are the clients most likely to default on their loan, and then they create policies around this. So apparently first home buyers or clients who don't have as much hurt money in there tend to not repay their loans as
They're
much.
more likely to walk away.
Yes. Now can I throw a spanner in the works?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah,
Okay.
go.
There are certain professions where the banks will waive their lender's mortgage insurance.
Like
that
what?
includes not real estate agents.
No, not happy, Jan. Right.
No, so accountants, solicitors, real estate agents.
You just said not real estate agents.
Oh, sorry, accountants, solicitors. What's the last one? Medicos. Yes.
Okay.
And sports and entertainment professionals.
Really?
Yes.
Is
you meet a certain
that
criteria.
is that a guaranteed waiver, or do they look at each case individually?
They have to have the profession labelled in their tax return. Some banks have certain minimum income requirements. Some banks don't. So some banks,
Accountants?
accountants,
Yep.
solicitors,
Yep. Medicos?
medicos,
And sports people.
sports and entertainments.
So musos, for instance. Or not musos, because you think at the moment musos
Well,
would be
you
a huge risk.
think about more like the high net wealth celebrity types.
Yeah, okay. We probably wouldn't have to worry about it anyway. Okay, mortgage insurance we covered, LVR we covered, stamp duty we covered. All right, so first homeowners, they should get in contact with you. Let's talk about pre-approval,
Yes.
because this happens to me on open homes all the time.
Yes.
They say, oh, we're pre-approved, which is great, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee them the loan, does it?
No bank will ever guarantee the loan up until the day it settles.
Correct.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't understand that once they've got that letter from the bank, it's not a guarantee. So saying that to a real estate agent doesn't necessarily have that much weight.
Yes. And there's also a difference between a fully assessed pre-approval and someone just walking into a bank or filling out one form online and the bank saying that you're pre-approved. Nobody's actually looked at your personal circumstances.
So that's where they do that forensic examination and
correct.
I've
all the annoying stuff.
I've heard people say you shouldn't have too many Uber accounts because that means that you go out. You shouldn't have gambling accounts because that means you're a bad risk. Would that be a fair comment? And would you tell people to stop doing that if they were going to apply for a loan?
There is a full assessment and analysis done on clients' bank statements, but there's also a certain common sense touch that's applied. So if you have a hobby, say of gambling, and you might spend $100, but then you earn a certain amount, and if you're showing good conduct on the rest of your facilities, then that might be analysed as a hobby, and you're not ruining your life and completely spiralling out of control.
Okay.
As opposed to someone who is gambling, and I've seen it, clients come through with bank statements, and if they're even trying to do a portability, which is not applying for more money, they're just literally taking their home loan, picking it up and transferring it to a new house. Banks have declined it because there's tens of thousands of dollars going out of their accounts at gambling facilities,
even though they're servicing an existing loan.
They're not making current repayments on their loan on time.
Yeah, okay.
So their lives are out of control.
So it's all common sense stuff in that respect.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yes.
Okay, so I find a little place, little duplex, for instance. What's the time frame before I can apply with you and I get the money?
Once I get all the documents, we can generally pick a lender and lodge it within a few days. Some banks are prioritising purchases faster than refinances or pre-approvals. So some banks might say
28 days, 21 days?
Some banks flow up to 6 weeks, others will pick it up in 4 hours and everything in between. So if you're in a hurry, I'm going to pick a bank that's not going to take 6 weeks.
Which might not necessarily be the cheapest rate, but they'll be the fastest to access it and look at it.
Yes, there are lots of different components that come into what kind of product that you apply for, the type of bank, and how long it takes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Signing off, see you next week.